Marvel Rivals is here, a hero shooter a la Overwatch. Battleborn is a name I'll throw out that some people remember. Paladins, yes. It is a multiplayer shooter where you're not necessarily there to kill the other team as many times as you can. It's more objective based, and you pick a character, and each character has its own set of powers and stuff like that. We've talked about Overwatch a ton here on the show, so we have some experience here. We want to get into, we thought it might be fun to dream up a couple characters, maybe our dream Marvel Rivals roster, and think of some ways we can work them into Marvel Rivals. So we've each come up with our own character ideas here. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about the character, talk about a move set we would maybe like to see them have in a multiplayer game like this, how those would work, including an ultimate ability, which is a big thing in these games. You have a bar that loads up and then kind of like, I don't know, a final smash. I'm trying to think of a good one from Overwatch. Reaper, where he turns into a shadow and then pops up and then it goes like bang, 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 bang in a circle, or there's like a big healer or whatever. As well as we're going to talk about a map or a level that would correspond with this character. Okay, Tom, take us away. Who is it?
Okay, so yeah, I'm talking about a character because I've been consuming a lot of X-Men content. As of late, X-Men 97 came out, and then that made me go back to the comics. So I'm like reading a bunch of the original comics. So I've chosen Gambit. He's a very popular character, but also like quite underutilized in a lot of media. So I thought this would be like a cool character to add, and he's just a cool guy. So I thought that just makes sense. A lot of these abilities are just kind of like plucked little bits from different Overwatch heroes, and like, yeah, he can have that. Obviously, Gambit, like, his power is that he has these playing cards and he kind of infuses them with like explosive energy. So his like regular like shooting would just be him throwing playing cards, similar to Genji from Overwatch, who's like a ninja cyborg guy, if you don't know who that is, and he throws shurikens. But in this, Gambit would throw playing cards essentially. But I guess going to his like abilities, Gambit is also known for having a giant stick. So he likes whacking people with that. I had this kind of idea where he would kind of use it as like a pole vault. There's a lot of aerial heroes, like Storm can fly. So this would be kind of his answer to that. He'd like kind of stab the ground and like launch himself into the air, and like he'd be able to use like additional jumps to kind of keep himself airborne. And from that, like, yeah, just dish out like more cards from the sky, I guess. Another idea I had was, I call it the baton pass. It's not really a baton pass because he uses his stick again, but it's kind of a sweeping attack, or he like kind of sweeps his stick in a circle. But by doing that, it would kind of like bring enemies towards you, so that will allow you to kind of like keep like range foes in check, I guess. There's this kind of third ability for his ultimate, called Shuffle, where he just takes a couple of cards and fuses them with magic energy, and he chucks them around as kind of like little landmines sort of thing. So just kind of chuck them around him, and then if you're near him and you touch with the cards, then you'll explode and take some damage or die. And then his ultimate, which I call Final Gambit, is
what's his
basically
catchphrase? What's he gonna say when you press the button? Because everyone in like Overwatch is like, what I don't know, what's a famous one? I'm trying to think.
Well, McCree or Cassidy said this.
Yeah, like, yeah. What's he gonna say when you press the triangle button and Gambit does this ultimate ability?
I was actually thinking this. I don't know if Gambit has any famous one-liners or not.
Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
But I thought he would just say, "It's Gambit time." I thought that would be fun. But yeah, I mentioned McCree or Cassidy from Overwatch, and it's basically just his ultimate, which is basically, if you've not played Overwatch, you basically enter this mode where you kind of lock on to the enemies around you, and when the circle hits like a certain point and you press the trigger, it's just an insta-kill. So like you'll be targeting all these enemies, and once they all hit like the perfect point, then you just like throws his cards and just insta-kills everyone.
Do you have a level in mind for him? Do you have a map that would work?
So I was trying to think of like classic X-Men locations. I thought of like Krakoa or Genosha, which are like kind of mutant like havens. So which I thought was an interesting idea, but the one I settled on, I thought like, oh, maybe X-Mansion, but I think a more interesting idea would be the Danger Room, this kind of like training area called the Danger Room, and it kind of adapts to the people's different abilities and powers. And this idea would just be like, yeah, there'd be like sentinels like attacking you. And I think it would just be this really cool idea because it's like the danger room really could just be anything. You can just like make it adapt to whatever. Obviously, this would be a fixed sort of thing. But just kind of like you can just take like different aspects of different Marvel worlds if you wanted to, and like make it this crazy amalgamation of stuff. But yeah, like make it very X-Men focused with like Sentinels and other X-Men things. But yeah, I thought that'd be cool.
You could even do like a Pokemon Stadium from Smash Bros thing where you're in the danger room and like the like environment changes every once in a while. I feel like Gambit is, the second you said him, I'm like he has to be there. Like he feels primed for a game like this. Lauren, what do you think?
I agree. I think it's cool to see another X-Men in the roster, particularly now that people are becoming more familiar with them again. It's been a few years since we've had like a decent X-Men movie. But yeah, like playing cards lend so well, I think, to
Feels perfect.
gameplay. Yeah. So we would definitely be on my roster if I had a choice.
Crop top or no crop top?
Oh, crop top all the way.
Always.
Oh, gotta have it. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Anything else you want to shout out, Tom, for your Gambit idea? Lauren, any other thoughts?
I'm trying to think. In terms of skins, obviously I'd love to see him in his classic outfit. Maybe we can get the Taylor Kitsch Gambit from X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, let's get that skin. That'd be cool.
It'd be the coolest one word for it. That's awesome. Lauren, do you want to go next or do you want me to go?
Well, you've got a villain, haven't you?
I've got
so
a
maybe
villain.
you should go next.
Yeah, I'll go next. So I decided I would pick Green Goblin. I think that could be a lot of fun. I don't know what this version of Green Goblin would look like. I kind of want him to just be like the green with the purple hat OG comic book Green Goblin. And how this would work, his primary ammo is pumpkin bombs, because that's what Green Goblin is known for. So in a similar fashion, I'll use an Overwatch hero, Junkrat, who has a grenade launcher. He has pumpkin bombs that he can throw and take people out. How his power set would work is Green Goblin doesn't really have a ton of like superpowers unless you're talking about like Ultimate Green Goblin, who's just a big hulking green man. But this one, he's going to use Norman Osborn's inventiveness, his various inventions and technology and things. So the first power I thought of was with the pumpkin bombs would be a like pumpkin bomb bag. So he can press a button and change the type of pumpkin bomb that he has. So his generic pumpkin bomb would be just a grenade that does like high damage to a concentrated area. So like any other projectile in the game, I see one enemy, I can throw this and it does a decent amount of damage. I throw a few of them and the enemy is gone. But I press this button and it changes it to a bigger area of effect, but it like cuts the damage in half, let's say. So say the entire other team is all like kind of close-ish together, I can throw these bombs at a reduced damage, but be hitting like a wider spread. Could also maybe do some fun, like maybe you have a stun pumpkin bomb in there as well that does no damage, but it stops the person in their tracks for a second. The next one, of course, this man has got to have his glider. He's gonna be on his feet, but you can hop on the glider and kind of shoot straight up and then hover around. I kind of thought like Farah, and maybe give him some maneuverability on the glider, but you don't want him to use it the whole time, so give it like a stamina meter or like a gas meter or whatever, energy. And then the last power, or the third power before his ultimate ability, would be what I'm calling Goblin Smoke. Goblin's sneaky. Goblin can just like, he's a trickster, he's a silly guy, and so I'm thinking purple smoke, you throw it on the ground, and it's just a smoke grenade. You throw it on the ground and you can get away. Maybe you have like within a certain like cone of vision, you have maybe like you can see the outlines of enemies, but no one else can. For like a split second. I think that could be really cool. And it would be just like an evasion maneuver. I envision it like, hey, how could I pair these powers together? What would be really cool is, okay, smoke grenade, I see kind of where someone is, glider straight up, and then start like bombing them. I think that could be like a really cool use of that. And then my ultimate ability. His catchphrase is probably going to be like, I don't know, can Spider-Man come out to play? Like, I think that'd be really good. And I called my ultimate ability Sinister Six. I don't know if every Spider-Man villain is going to be represented in this game. So the way that we can get some of these lesser ones in, like Scorpion, sorry Scorpion, like Shocker, sorry Shocker, like Electro, sorry Electro, is, hey, it's a 6v6 game, right? You hit the button, you shoot up in the air on the glider, and the Sinister Six come in, and for like, let's say 3 or 4 seconds, grab everyone on the other team. They just hold them and restrain them. And then your team is basically given 10 seconds to just like do what they can to like, and the people can't move. They're stuck in place. Oh, and the level I was thinking of was Oscorp Tower. I think could be cool, like maybe up pretty high. You could have different rooms like with different experiments and stuff like that. And maybe like if you did damage in some room, like now there's like an environmental hazard where there's like electricity shooting out or fire let out, or maybe some like chemical spill you can light on fire or something like that. I think you would do something very cool environmentally in a locale like that, but that's Green Goblin.
I really like the specifically like the changing the bombs. Like I think that's such a cool idea, depending on the situation that you're in. And like the idea of the Sinister Six just come in and basically just give everyone bear hugs. I think that's so funny. But it's a cool, like, inventive way of like bringing in these other characters and seeing like, yeah, because yeah, as much as I love Shocker, he's probably not going to be a playable character in the game. So this is like the next best thing.
And I imagine when he does when they all like hold the enemy, like I think they can still like shoot. You don't want to just like make them entirely powerless for an extended period of time, but they're stuck there, like they can't move. They're like rooted into the ground. So like they can defend themselves as best they can, but if you can't move anywhere, there's nothing you can really do.
I like it. I think it really suits everything that the character is known for. It's like a great, I guess like translation of his powers and also comic book history. So yeah, it's tough because when you play a game like this, I'm always drawn to picking the heroes. It's hard to have like a compelling villain character that you actually want to play as, but I mean that Sinister Six power is like, that would be very exciting to see.
If we're talking skins like you were talking about, Tom, I would love, of course, give me a Willem Dafoe skin. I think that could be cool. Give me like a Hobgoblin skin, could be neat as well, like with the orange orange hat and the yellowy skin. And then give me Dane DeHaan. Give me like pointed ears, spiky hair, Dane DeHaan. I think that could be really fun as well.
The idea of like the Dane DeHaan Green Goblin living through this game is just so funny. So I hope it happens just for that, honestly.
Lauren, do you want to take it away with your character?
Sure. Well, it should come as no surprise to anyone that my character is Captain Marvel. I will fight for the day until I can play as Captain Marvel in a game. But it could very feasibly happen here, so that's exciting. My pitch for Captain Marvel is fairly basic from what you'd expect from her. Basically, like some of the other heroes, she would have the ability to fly around, but I like also that she would have like melee, like just general hand-to-hand combat abilities as well if you wanted to like fight people on the ground. Of course, one of the powers has to be the photon blast, the old classic. This is generally what she uses in the comics and the movies as well, but I kind of liked the idea that also, I don't know if this would be like a separate power or built into this one, but perhaps you can like absorb energy. I don't know exactly how that would work, but I like the idea of it. And I think I also kind of just like on a whim changed what my ultimate ability is going to be because I had a better idea. So I'm going to make this one of the other powers, but I liked her binary form, which is what I would say is like when it goes like the full helmet, the mohawk, and that would make you maybe temporarily invincible and give you like superhuman strength in that moment. So maybe you have like a glowing golden kind of aura, and at that point you're untouchable. But the ultimate ability that I've just come up with is, of course, I've got to get Goose in there somehow. We got to get the Flurkins in. So you have the power to summon a Flurkin. And as we all know, Flurkins are incredibly dangerous. And so perhaps that's like a one hit kill. If you get eaten by the Flurkin, the rampaging Flurkin, that's the end for you. Yeah. You got to dodge the giant.
What's her ultimate
tentacles.
catchphrase? What is she going to say when you press triangle and unleash the Flurkins on everyone?
She'd have to say something about Goose, I guess. Oh,
maybe.
Really? Okay.
I don't know. The one I was thinking for sure was like, You press that triangle, and what does she say? She says,
Higher, further, faster.
and
True.
Goose come in,
that would be
sucking
cool.
everyone.
That'd be
Like,
pretty
that's
hype.
perfect. That's so good.
Yeah, that's good. I like that a lot. As for location, I had a couple of ideas. I wondered if like maybe the Saber Space Station would be fun because you could have the Fleur kittens running around, but if we've already got a Flurkin as a power, I might go with my other idea, which was I think one of the coolest locations that we've seen that aren't just like Earth or Hala, because Hala looks very similar to Asgard in my mind, which is in the game. So something different would be Aladna, which is that Italian coast looking singing planet. I think it would be so fun if you're just like running around and people are like singing in
Singing
terror
about the
as they yeah.
Yeah, custom voice lines. That'd be great.
Yeah, I think that would be really fun. It also is a really nice level. Like you could have different levels of verticality where you're like on the kind of in the city, which is like all it's like kind of sandstone buildings and going up and down stairs, but also you could like take the battle out over the water where it was like really nice and pretty and have like some sort of aerial fights over there. So yeah, but I really just liked the singing. So
Tom, what's the Greek level in Ilios?
Oh, Ilios,
Yeah, there's like a level that looks almost just like this planet in Overwatch. Or so
Yeah.
if they wanna just like
just copy paste
exactly
it. They copy paste
see if
it
they're doing it with
everything
everything else. Of course, you were gonna do Captain Marvel, like it.
of course,
She feels just like Gambit to me. Like she will be there
eventually.
for sure. Like she feels
Yeah.
perfect for something like this.
I really like the power absorbing idea. I had like a similar idea for like I was running through all the X-Men that I could potentially choose. I was like one idea I had was like Bishop because he's also a character that like absorbs energy. In Overwatch, there's a character called Sigma, and he has an ability where he can absorb damage and then like he gets extra like health. So maybe it could work a similar way with Captain Marvel. So and yeah, the Flurkin like. The Flurkin's running around. I don't want to shoot a cat, so I'm just gonna die. So you've got me there. What skins would you want for Captain Marvel?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, if she's already changing between like normal form and binary form, I think that's like the main one. But I think definitely the two suits from the movie. I think just being able to change the color of the suit too. You know, like in the first movie, she has that like kind of dial and they're playing with the color. Yeah, that would be fun.
That'd be awesome.
She's had some looks in the years. I guess it's the Captain Marvel look where it was like, I think she even wore black back in the day. Like
Yeah, she's got one with like a big like it looks like Miss Marvel symbol.
Yeah, back in
and
the
she's
day.
kind of got like shoulder length gloves and like a tank top like singlet with the Captain Marvel S on it. Or,
oh my god, put
Miss
the
Marvel.
9 Inch Nails shirt in the game.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be fun. There's an artist, comic artist called Jen Bartel, and she does like amazing comic designs. But her Captain Marvel costume, it's kind of like a ship's captain almost. Like I would love to see that one.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. You can let us know what you think about Marvel Rivals and our character pitches here over on Twitter at @controller_club.